We're going to Lumpkin, Georgia. Lumpkin, Georgia. Lumpkin, Georgia. Lumpkin. I didn't hear Lumpkin, Georgia. Okay, first let's just do the Google Maps. What a terrible name. We'll do the Google Maps. We'll see where it is in Georgia. The research for Lumpkin, Georgia isn't pretty. And I say that seriously. The Wikipedia page kind of blows. It's kind of a sad time, and I'll tell you why. So there you go. It's kind of, close to Columbus on the border, closer to, Alabama than the ocean. Lumpkin, Georgia. There's a little lake right there. I always wonder how these little towns form, because usually there had to be a waterway to get there way back in the day. There's not one here. It's just a small little town. There's some lakes. There's some rivers, I guess, so maybe. Small little town of Lumpkin, Georgia. They got this section over here, which is huge. They really wanted it. They got it. What do we got going on in Lumpkin? Snooky's Country Cooking. That's good. Broad Street. Anything else cool? Pigtail Alley Historic District. Yeah, there's a cool historic district. We'll get to that. Not much going on. Okay. Cherry Street, Pine Street. Classic street names. House Ave. I think there's one house on that road at one point. Lumpkin, Georgia. Lumpkin, Georgia. I just keep saying the name. It's a dumb name. Lumpkin. It's a bad name. It's like an insult. You have a fucking lump. A Lumpelskilston. Lumpkin, Georgia. All right, want to hear the history of Lumpkin, Georgia? Well, historically, the Cherokee, the Choctaw, and the Creek tribes lived there. Native Americans, natives, if you will, lived there. And then the white Americans came and just removed them. The Removal Act of 1830. So they took all the Native Americans, they kicked them off their land, they stole their land from them. They forced those tribes to move west of the Mississippi River to Indian territory. So that's the first paragraph on Wikipedia about Lumpkin, Georgia. Yeah, stolen land. Okay, all of the U.S. is kind of stolen land. So, that's kind of a history we have to live with. Then the next paragraph is about how they kicked the Indians off, and then they just brought in a bunch of slaves and started the cotton industry. It's like, fuck, Lumpkin, Georgia, your history sucks. Your history is awful. It's this one town kind of represents a lot of awful. Yeah, that's kind of it. Then there was a big industrial town for cotton trade, and then land erosion and depletion. Cotton farming gave way to peanut and pine tree cultivation, and labor needs decreased. Then, after Civil War ended, they had a bunch of sharecroppers and all that stuff, and then legal slavery and that shit. Wild, man. I was just like, this town blows. The whole Wikipedia page is just a sad reminder that our history sucks. And then, in the 1960s, a group of citizens created a living history known as Westville, and they relocated 30 historical structures to recreate a grouping of Western Georgia architecture and would have been found in 1850s working village. This was kind of cool. I was kind of into this. I was hoping it wasn't. Do you remember a while ago we did that place in, was it Texas or Louisiana? Where they had the old plantations and the quarters as a tourist site. It's like, ugh. I was hoping it wasn't like that. So I go to YouTube and type in Westville, Lumpkin, Georgia. And they have this in New Jersey at places as well. They have Allaire, New Jersey, has an old village like this where you can, I don't know what this audio is going to be, where you can go into the old mason shop and the old wool factory or whatever, and then there's people dressed like the old time people. And they're like, these are my mules. When we needed to get across town, we'd let the mules take us there. It's like the Billy Madison scene. Miles Davis, if peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis. Let's see what this lady's saying.
Right across the street from the courthouse, there's a little historic marker on the side, and it says Stewart County Academy and Masonic Lodge. That's where this building used to be. It was built in 1832, and it started off as just a boy.
Okay, not as riveting as we had hoped. But yeah, old little villages like this are cool. We went to one. We went to a lair in New Jersey. Caitlin and I, my fiance, just like a boring day. We were like, let's go do something. So we went to a lair, New Jersey. Good disc golf course in a lair. You've never seen New Jersey? Like, oh, this is the guy we talked to. All right, cool. We talked to, no, we didn't talk to that guy. These places are cool. We talked to this guy who doesn't, not him. Nope, he's this guy. Okay, we talked to this guy. He has a wealth of knowledge. Let me see if I can show you the cool things that I remember. He showed us the lunch pails that they would use and how they kept food hot in the winter and cold in the summer because they had a little compartment where they would put river water that was freezing to keep it cold, or they'd put fire in it. And then he told us one of these things back here. It was pretty cool. He's like, yeah, this is, they would fill it up with boiling water, and then the woman would put it underneath their dress as they sat in church so the hot air would come up their dress. I was like, that sounds awesome. So that's what the place is in Lumpkin, I'm guessing. One of those places. I feel like every town has them, and then you take your 5th grade trip there. Historic Westville road trip and drone footage. Let's check it out. Be cool, be cool. Okay. So far, kind of cool. That's the village. So they picked up all these houses that were built in the 1830s and moved them there. So it was like one village. That's a really pretty shot. Was that a mansion to the right? Is that someone's house? It's a nice deck. All right, for those that are just listening, I did that the other day. I was like, what does it sound like when you just listen to this? Because we have people, a couple hundred people that just listen every morning. They don't watch with it. It's weird. I'm not the best at it. I'm not doing radio play-by-play here. I'm just doing TV play-by-play. Anyway, that's like the history of Lumpkin. I don't even want to go deeper because it just kind of sucks. It's like, hey, what's everything that America did shitty in its past? Oh, go to Lumpkin, Georgia, and you'll find out. Boom.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Now, here's what happened there. I switched the places on the keyboard where the rabbit hole drop are and the Forrest Gump drop are because it was weird. It was the rabbit hole was the 1 button and the Forrest Gump was Q. And I was like, I always search for the Q. Like, where is it? What is it? And then I switched them. Why don't I just do 1, 2, you know? And then I hit it wrong. Listeners need to come to YouTube. Yeah, come to YouTube. I was telling you, Facebook is choppy right now, but Facebook gets the most amount of people that watch live and watch, but we don't know if we're getting attacked by bots or whatever. Decided quickly it wasn't a rabbit hole. No, I hit the wrong button. I just hit the wrong button. It was a false thing. I'm not. That's pretty funny.